Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Brush Street Boys. I'm here with Jake today. We haven't done one in a while, the two of us, so we're back.
No.
Today we're just gonna be talking about Phillies and Eagles. A decent amount to talk about. If this pod goes for too long, Jake, you could just sign out, and I'll just do the rest. No,
Cool.
no pressure. But basically, for the Phillies, we're gonna talk about the Diamondbacks series and the fact that we just lost Game 3. And then for the Eagles, what the hell is wrong with the Eagles? We don't really know. So, uh, we're gonna start with the Phillies. Phillies do drop Game 3 in Arizona on a walk-off single by Ketel Marte. Jake Stewart, what went wrong?
Well, from my understanding, I only watched literally the last out. Well, I guess there was no
Yeah,
last out, but
I gotcha.
we had 3 hits and they
Yeah,
had 5 hits. It was a
yeah,
very pitcher's duely type game.
yeah.
And which sucks even more is that was the third walk-off in franchise history. Like, you got to be kidding me. One of the third time they ever hit a walk-off
Yep.
happened to be
In the
against us
playoffs,
in the
I don't
playoffs.
I don't get it. I mean, listen, and so I did watch the whole game, and listen, Ranger Suarez was dealing, and again, a two-hit performance from Ranger Suarez. Big game Ranger comes through again. He goes 5 innings and 5 and 2/3. I
How
think
many
around
strikeouts
that.
did he have? I saw someone placed a
Yeah,
bet. It was on
like six.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah, the guy. I think he had 7 because the bet was
yeah,
Ranger Suarez 7 strikeouts and whoever the
yeah,
other pitcher was 8 strikeouts, and
yep.
he put like $25 on it and won like 18 grand. So
I believe it because
yeah,
I think you say his name fought, but fought for
yeah, him.
right, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I came into this game really confident, thinking that we were gonna blow them out.
Really?
Like not even close. Because Fought had a 5 ERA, and the
Yeah. Oh, that's
Brewers
right.
roughed him
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
and then he went 4 innings against the Dodgers with no runs. But I was like, you know what? There's no way that this offense like dies against a rookie. That's kind of that was kind of my thought. But I mean, damn. 9 strikeouts. One of the first rookies to ever do that in the postseason. Like, what the hell is happening? Um,
Yeah.
but Craig Kimbrell. My dad said this, and I totally agree. Craig Kimbrell was going to lose you a game, and it's
Yeah.
okay that it's this game when we're still up 2-1. Like
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. I'm very much over Craig Kimbrell. Even though at the same time, I don't think we would be in the same spot if he wasn't dominant in when was that late May throughout June whenever he had that like 1.9 ERA or whatever,
Yeah.
like because Alvarado and Sternathy went down. I don't think we would be anywhere near we are without him. But
Hmm.
right now, I think his arm is just in general like
Screaming.
I think it's so worn down. He's a little older too, so I
Yeah.
don't blame him. But I just don't trust him in the high leverage moments anymore. I think you and Caleb might have talked about this, maybe didn't, but I don't really get why Alvarado isn't just the designated closer. I get the whole high leverage analytics thing, but like I don't know, Alvarado is your best pitcher, and then when you're sending out Matt Strom or Craig Kimbrell in the ninth inning, it gives me a slight heart attack.
Strom makes me nervous sometimes too.
Yeah, because Strom can either be like lights out, like dominant,
Like
like
locked and loaded, or it's just hit,
yeah,
hit,
like
hit.
like he was. Oh, what game was that? It was either in the Brave series. No, yeah, it was the Brave series. He pitched in that ninth inning, one, two, three, 2 strikeouts.
Hmm.
He could be that Strom, or he could be the Strom that misses every single spot up and down. So listen, I just really want to see Alvarado in those high leverage, like huge moments. Um, Now let's just move on from Game 3. It rough one, but at the same time, I'm trying not to overreact like a normal Philadelphia fan. Um, you know what I mean? Like I like
Yeah, yeah. Everyone's going crazy.
we're still up 2-1, and yes, we only had 3 hits, but like Nick Castellanos said, we respond better when we get slapped in the face. So
Yeah.
here
And
we
my
are.
prediction anyway for this series was 5 games. So
Same with me. Mine was like 5 or 6. I just don't. I mean, if it goes back to Philadelphia, we'll just kick their ass in Game 6. But I'd prefer it
yeah,
don't go back. But because I honestly think that this Texas matchup between the Rangers and Houston, I totally think that's going like 6 or 7. So we'll
yeah.
see.
I think that's going to be a longer series as well. I'm pulling for
Yeah,
Texas, but
me too.
yeah,
And especially if Texas wins, then we have home field, and I don't think we'll lose in that case. And
they got
I
stomped last night though, 10-3.
oof. Funny, it was close until the sixth inning when Jose Abreu hit that three-run jack. I mean,
Yep.
shit. So now, oh boy, sorry. In Game 4, we have Christopher Sanchez versus the bullpen. What do you think? I believe in Chris Sanchez, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's not another like we were cool with dropping this game as like a pitcher's game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll let them get their win, and they're not. No one's winning in Philly, but
Nope.
they'll get their win in Arizona. Like it's cool. We kind of see how the lack of hits didn't kill us. Very good pitcher's game. This
Yeah,
just can't turn into that,
I
and I
agree.
don't think it will. So I'm pretty confident in his ability and our ability as a team to kind of bounce back. Like you said, Nick Castellanos talking about they'll slap us in the face, and that's when we
Yeah,
wake up. With the
stud.
whole Bryce Harper staring down Arcia, we have Nick Castellanos, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper. They're all just like on fire, and I think Caleb and I talked about last time is the energy feeding, and how
Oh my
Alec
gosh.
Boehm was a little bit down and Stott was a little bit down, and even Marsh kind of had like a little bit of a weird game. So
Yeah,
we're gonna wake up and we're gonna rock them. So
I totally agree. My only concern with Sanchez is that he hasn't pitched in like 3 weeks. But I mean, honestly, during the season, Christopher Sanchez was a 2 ERA, three ERA type of guy,
yeah.
which is dominant. And I think you'll agree with me when I say this. I thought it was a little weird that they pulled Fought in the sixth inning or whatever, and then they used more of their bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thought that was kind of weird because if like why would you pull him that early, especially when you're gonna have a
If he's
scheduled
dealing,
bullpen game?
yeah,
And he was dealing. We couldn't even touch him.
yeah.
Like I didn't really get that. But I do feel very confident because if you think about it, in Philadelphia, we saw a lot of their bullpen. So especially like their lower tier bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Gallon couldn't go very deep, and Kelly went like 6 innings or something. So we've seen a lot of their not so good bullpen, like they're gonna pitch tonight. And then last night I thought it was a good opportunity to see like their higher end guys like Ginkle and Seawall and then what's his name, Anderson or whatever his name is. So I thought it was good to see them last night, even though we did lose.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that we lost because we have never seen those guys in this series before, just
Yeah.
because we've blown them out now. But I do think that I think tonight is going to be a win for the Phils. I'm not going to lie to you. I totally think we're going
You
to
think
win.
it's going to be a big win, or you think it's going to be like a just like a game?
I think we're going to go down early. I think it's going to be 2-0 in the fourth or fifth inning with the Diamondbacks being up. But as soon as the Phillies, settle into this game, I think it might get out of hand. Like I think it's going to go from 2-0 to like 5-2, and
Yeah.
then we'll just go from there. Because if I've learned anything from this team, it only takes one run,
Yeah. Yep.
right? I mean,
Absolutely.
it only takes one run, and as soon as they get that one home run or they get something, that's all it takes for this team to get pissed off and just win.
Yeah.
So
I think either that's going to happen, or like we're just going to like rock out in the first 3 innings, and we might not. I think. Yeah, either it's going to be like a later game, like mid to late game kind of game, or we're just
yeah,
going to rock out in the first like 3, maybe 4 innings, and then we're not going to score a run from like fifth to the end of the game. That's my prediction.
funny. It's quite literally going to be either a slugfest in the first 5 innings and then dead,
Yeah,
or nothing for the first 6 innings, and then we're just going to hit the shit out of the ball.
yeah, yep.
And there's going to be no in between.
Yeah,
But at the same time, my motto this year is just like a win is a win.
a
So
win is a win.
a win is a
A win is
win.
a win.
They all look the same. Plus, the Diamondbacks, if you think about it, the Diamondbacks had so many chances last night to win the game in so many different spots, and they didn't. It took them
It took
like
them to
4 or
hit a
5
walk off in
shots.
order to actually win.
Exactly. And even though the umpire wasn't great, like they had so many opportunities just to blow it open that they just didn't take at home.
Mm-hmm.
So, and listen, they kind of shoot themselves in the foot too. They're a really young team.
Yeah.
And I also think it's kind of odd. I don't know if Caleb, and you talked about this a little bit. You might have not. The Diamondbacks are one of the most aggressive teams on the base path,
Oh yeah.
and
Yep.
and yet they don't have a stolen base.
This entire series, or
they are scared of JT Realmuto, and they're not even. You might have missed it because you weren't watching it like in real time, but in the 7th inning, they brought in not Hoffman. It was someone I'm blanking out, but whoever it was, first and third, no outs, hardly, and the infielders are in. Sharply hit ball to shortstop, double play. Right, you would think the guy on third would score.
Yeah,
he did. He did. There was no secondary lead. He just looked at him, didn't go, and then literally next pitch they bring in Alvarado. Alvarado stops the ball at the pitcher's mound.
Yeah.
Throw it to first, inning up. Another thing, I think it was the 8th inning, right? Guy on third. I think there's 1 or 2 outs or whatever. Ball is hit to Trey Turner. Wait, ready? Third, this is gonna blow your mind because you used to play baseball. This is gonna it blew my mind. Second and third, I think 1 or 2 outs. Ball is hit to Trey Turner. The guy on third does go home, gets tugged out, but you would think the guy on second would move up to third.
Yeah.
The guy on second is watching the play.
Just sitting on second base, just watching.
You should look this. It blew my mind in real time. I was like, he's actually standing 3 feet from second base and looking at the play. It was one of the more embarrassing things I've seen like a professional player do. Listen, I know they're young. And I know that like maybe it's all kind of getting to him. I forget if it was in the 9th inning, so maybe he thought that they won off of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like as someone like us who's seen the game played in real time on the field,
is this it?
That blew my mind. It
was crazy. What inning is this?
I think it was the 9th inning. I think.
Okay, I just watched Corbin Carroll get out, and then now they're switching pitchers. I don't know what inning this is. This is when they took out Ranger.
Okay, so this is the one I talked about first. Are there any outs? I don't think there are any outs.
It's loading.
Okay.
1 out.
Whatever it is, 1 out. So you'll see. It's a little. Outs. It's a little weird. I think this is when Alvarado stops it at the pitcher's mound and throws to first.
Hoffman's in.
Right.
So this was 6th inning.
Jeff Hoffman is a stud. I don't even care.
Yeah,
about
I like him. He's got a cool glove. That's why I like him. But
cool glove, dude. His splitter is 92 miles per hour, which I think is disgusting. And then he pumps in 97, 98.
Dude, and we had people on base too. We just couldn't. Exactly. All the ball, just little ground ball. We had first and second, and then Stott hits a little. Okay, at least Harper took third on a ball like that. But double play.
Believe me. Yesterday was as frustrating as a game that
well, I'm kind of glad that I didn't really watch it.
Well, that's a good thing because we had similar to the Diamondbacks.
Our only run was on a pass ball from Harper.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What the hell?
Literally.
Welcome.
Yeah. Wild pitch.
I know. It's bad.
Slider through a wild pitch. Boom. He scores. They overthrew it. Oh, we only had 1 guy on anyway. Yeah. This is bottom 7 or top 7. And that was where our first one come from. Okay. It was on JT. Harper scores. JT, good job. Like, give him the little, like, come here. The ball's way past. Garrett Stubbs goes crazy. Jake Cave goes crazy. Okay, yeah, then it just switched to Diamondback 7th.
That's okay. Yeah, whatever. I mean, listen, as long as we win tonight, it's all that.
Yeah. But you have Corbin Carroll and Alex, what's his last? Thomas.
Alec Thomas, freaking.
They're
so
both
fast.
Like jets.
So
okay,
fast.
Yeah. Their run came in the bottom 7. We scored top 7. They scored bottom 7. Alec Thomas ran from first or second base.
Yep, he got home from first.
Yeah,
he got home from first. I've never seen a guy run that fast. He is burdened from first.
Yeah, him and Corbin Carroll both. How do they not have? Yeah, there he is. There he goes. How do they not have stolen bases?
I know.
JT didn't even do that well against the Braves.
JT has not looked. I mean, he's looked good, right? But throwing the ball this entire year, he hasn't looked like the old
all-star
JT. Guns. Yeah, like when he just guns them out. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're Ronald Acuna or Kyle Schwarber. He's going to gun you out.
Yeah.
It does not matter. But, like, this year he's been off. And then they're just afraid to run, which is just so
It's like,
weird.
my reputation precedes me.
I guess.
That sort of thing.
Now, just to finish the Phils off, I know we did talk about in the group chat that we wanted to talk about this, and I wanted to as well. Um, what are your thoughts on the playoff schedule and how it's like a big like controversy sort of thing right now?
What's
Because
going on with the playoff
about all the
schedule?
about all the buy stuff, and how only one team with a buy made it, and that's the Astros.
Mm.
Um, I just want to hear your thought. Like, does a buy affect how you're playing?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. But it can
Yeah,
be a good thing or a bad thing. Speaking from experience, growing up playing baseball and all these things, like if a team is riding off momentum or needs to ride off momentum, then a bye could be their biggest killer, right? Because
yeah,
if they're like every day we're fighting to stay alive, kind of like underdog situation, like you know, kind of like if we the Diamondbacks, right? If they wanted any chance to win against the Phillies, which they're not going to, but they
yeah,
would need to play consistently every day, no matter win or lose, and they would have to win one. The worst thing that could happen to the Diamondbacks is if they win one and then they don't play a game. You got to continuously play
yeah,
games, continuously win games in order for the momentum to carry over. But a bye can
yeah,
help players, especially if you don't have all of your pitching back or anything like that, and then that extra day or whatever it is allows you to get those pitchers kind of back. I think we were talking about like I think in the first game there was a game on Friday. I think Monday there was like a gap or something. Saturday, Monday maybe with the Phillies and how okay, why are we leaving Sir Anthony and Kimbrel in? Oh, it's because we have this
right,
this day of rest or whatever it is. It's not really a bye, but day of rest. Boom, we get our pitching back and we win the next game because Kimbrel came in and kind of shut them down. So
right,
um, it's kind of hard because when you're winning and you need the momentum, you don't want the buys. But when you're winning and you're
yes.
comfortable winning, you want the buys. So
Then yeah, exactly.
it's kind of all up to the teams and kind of what's going on. I really don't feel indifferently about it personally.
I neither.
I don't like buys. Well, I don't
I mean,
mind
I
them,
wouldn't
but
either,
like if
but
I'm that type of team, like if I just want to play baseball, like just go out there and play, and then the only excuse you have is we would have won if we had a buy. Like you don't know that, so
oh, believe me, and listen, we're bringing this up. Caleb, this is what Caleb said in our group chat, and then I was like, yeah, let's talk
yeah,
about it. So it's just been such a big thing, just because only one top seed made it out. Um, Now I will say, like, so let's just go through all the you know the teams with
mm,
buys, right? The Astros, I think, are used to having a bye with that
yeah,
team. I would say, would we
yeah,
agree? They're built for the bye, whatever. And plus, they play the Twins, which I, by the way, love the Twins because I listen. Good for them for winning a series for the first time since
ever,
ever. Um, it was like 2001 or
yeah,
something crazy. Um, but they did play the Twins, and the Astros are better than the Twins. The Orioles, I was a little surprised that they didn't take a game. However, that team is so young. I think we can both agree with that. I think they're about a year or two away.
Shout out
Um,
Caleb, your
and
prediction
plus,
was wrong.
yeah, sorry, Caleb. Um, and I was actually rooting for the Orioles just because they right down 95. Plus, I have roommates that are Orioles fans. Um, and if that series showed you anything, is that pitching is
Yeah,
everything in the playoffs. Um, and like experienced pitching. Like, so they sent out Kyle Bradish, who looked really good. He only let up 1 or 2 runs in game one. Game two, they sent out a rookie, and Grayson Rodriguez, who has been a stud all year, but a rookie, and he's never played up like under these lights before. They got blown out again at home. And then in that final game, I think they sent out Bradish again, and they got blown out. So listen, they were. I thought they would just put up a little bit more than a fight against the Rangers, I guess.
yeah,
But you know what I mean? And then the Braves, if there's going to be one team in this entire postseason to beat, like one team, it's going to be
yeah. It had to be the Phillies.
we've. It's like I don't see the Dodgers beating them. I don't see the Diamondbacks beating them. I see us beating
Yeah,
them. I think we're like the only team.
the comments on their Instagram posts were just hilarious. They were written with
So
depressed
funny,
Braves fans and Philly fans just going and conning them all.
so funny. I mean, listen, I'm in support. Fuck the Braves every day of the week. But if there's going to be one team to beat them, it was going to be
Yeah,
us. And I didn't think the Dodgers were that good to begin
no,
with. I'm not gonna lie to you. Julio Urias, he's not pitching because of the second sexual assault thing. So you have quite literally one pitcher in Clayton Kershaw,
who got
so
dogged in the first
who got
inning.
who historically is not good in the
Well,
playoffs.
the Dodgers
Historically, he's
historically aren't good in the
awful.
playoffs.
Right, but Kershaw
In
himself is
particular,
not great in
yeah,
the
correct.
playoffs. Yes, I know, off topic. I think they should fire Dave Roberts.
Yeah, I
In
do
my
too.
opinion, he can't win
I think
playoffs.
Kershaw's done.
That's kind
I
of cool.
think Roberts needs to go. I
Yeah,
think that whole they have a good squad. They made the playoffs, but whatever
they do.
decisions are going on there in their front office is just not good.
Listen, as soon as they sign Shohei, the league's over. So whatever.
True.
They can lose this year. They can suck it up. Whatever. And I mean, obviously, you don't exactly predict Mookie and Freddie to get one hit total. You don't predict that, but I don't know. They weren't really postseason ready in my eyes, and I feel like the Phillies right now the Phillies and Rangers are the most postseason ready in my
Yeah.
eyes. And listen, whoever we play, if we do make it past the Diamondbacks, I'm not trying to jinx anything. I think that series is gonna be awesome, regardless on who we play, because I think that we stack up better against Houston this year, and I think Rangers Phillies it would be such a good matchup, just viewership
Yeah.
wise, just because if you think about it, the Rangers are the Phillies of last year. They weren't supposed to be
Yeah,
here.
that's true.
The Phillies maybe should be here, like even like in the CS
Mm-hmm.
maybe. The Rangers have no business being here, and here they are, kind of crushing it. Even though the series is back to 2-2, which is really weird. That series to me is
So let's
really
do
weird. I don't
them
know
like
about
the
you.
Astros did us in the World
I'm
Series.
in. I'm in. I mean, it's very possible. I mean, listen, all we got to do is bring it back to Philadelphia for Game 6. So I'll take it.
Yeah.
Whatever. A win's a win. But yeah, people are bitching about this playoff schedule, but there's always been buys every single year. Why are you complaining about it now, even though your team's
Yeah.
lost? You know what I mean? Like imagine if all the teams won, like if all the 1 and 2 teams won. First of all, that's boring. Second of all, it wouldn't be a problem because those larger markets wouldn't be annoyed. So that's my little rant. I just think it's a big market sort of thing, just pissing me
Yeah.
off. Like, because if you think about it, Atlanta's a pretty big market. LA is a huge market, and the Orioles is who everyone was rooting for.
They were a big market.
Exactly, and now they're less. But whatever. And then, yeah, don't get me started.
I thought you said you weren't going to
I
go
think the
all
whole.
rage on me
I
today in the
know.
episode.
I'm trying not. I just hate when people because I feel like you're invalidating the Phillies when they say that.
Does that conclude
That's
our talk about the MLB?
I think it might. You want
All
to go to
right.
the Eagles? The Eagles. This is. I might freak out about this one because they're pissing me off, like bad. Like they're hard to watch. Yeah, they're really tough. I think the first question is, what the hell is wrong with the Eagles? Because there's something wrong,
Yeah,
obviously.
but I think we shouldn't look too much into it because the Eagles
I'm trying.
lose like a
I'm
game
trying.
once a year. Like this is our loss. That's it. It's a shame that it happened to
I know.
the stupid Jets of all teams. But here's the thing:
The Jets.
it was like a trap game. Trap game. Like the
It
Jets
was.
aren't a good team. We didn't feel like we needed a lot to beat them, and then it came back and bit us. So
I know.
it's whatever. I'm not. I am more invested in the Phillies right now to care enough to be invested in the Eagles.
Completely
But
agree. Completely.
I feel like we should be raging more about the Phillies than we should about the Eagles, but it's kind of backwards. But I don't really care. Like
I know.
this is a regular season. They're going to the
I
playoffs.
know.
Like we're not going to have an issue
My only
until the playoffs.
concern is Jalen Hurts looked so bad for that last
He
game.
really did.
He looked, and I'm not quite sure if it's the coordinator's fault or if it's his
Nick Sirianni
fault
took
or if
back
it's a mix
over
of
control from
both.
the offensive line coach, right?
Did he? I didn't
I'm
see
pretty
that,
sure he
but,
took
I mean, this
control
is,
back of the play calling from the not offensive line coach, but offensive coordinator. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very stagnant offense. It's really boring to watch. Jalen Hurts looks like he's regressed almost. Like he's making the wrong reads and just tossing it down the field like he's a rookie again to triple coverage. Like it's frustrating. The reason why I'm annoyed, and it's only the regular season, right? I shouldn't be this annoyed, is because we have I've never seen a schedule like this for the Eagles coming up here. It is Dolphins, Cowboys, bye week, Chiefs, 49ers, Bills, Cowboys,
Yeah,
Seahawks.
we're about to
What
get
the hell?
railed after the bye week.
Yeah, we need to figure it the hell out, or we're gonna win like 2 games if we're lucky. Like we need to figure it the hell out. Jalen Hurts needs to figure it out. I'm sick of him talking in poems after the freaking game too. Like like the fact that he just talks in cliches and poems sometimes when we lose, it's like,
I
what
gotta
are you
look
doing?
now. Now I'm curious because I haven't watched any of the.
Oh my god, Jake. Whenever he talks in poems, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Like I want like I love when he talks in poems when we
Yeah,
win
but it's
or
like you gotta take
when
him as it is. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's frustrating. Like, but listen, look, he is my quarterback and he's my quarterback for the future, but he needs to figure it the hell out. I know you have a new offensive coordinator, but reads are on you. Like the reads are on you. Like we don't I don't know. And it's like just watching the game, it's really frustrating because it's like DeAndre Swift is so good, and I know that you're trying to protect him because he's an injury prone running back, but when you run him, he's getting like 5 to 8 yards to carry, and then when you don't run him, it's usually like an incompletion on second down, incompletion on third down punt, or or we throw it on first down and we throw a deep bomb to AJ Brown, he catches it, and then we stall out again. And I've heard this around, but Jake, I have a question for you, and I think this is very real. Do you think that ever since AJ Brown kind of freaked out when he wasn't getting the ball in week 2 or 3, that now I feel like they're forcing the ball to AJ Brown. Do you think that that's having an
Oh, for sure.
impact
Eventually,
on
once
the
something like that
offense?
happens, it for sure, 100%.
I think so too, and I think it's almost just like stalling out the offense, make it very one dimensional, in that it's just run AJ Brown, run AJ Brown, run AJ
Yeah.
Brown. Now I actually don't. We did pick up Julio Jones over the week,
Yes, we did. I
um,
saw that. That was awesome.
which I don't hate.
Yeah.
I actually like it. People at first were like, why? But then I was like, you know what? Like, if we have no depth at the wide receiver position, it's AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, Braden Covey, who is our punt returner, and then practice squad. We have no
Hmm.
depth. So adding a guy like
He's
Julio
older now,
Jones, who
right?
can
Julio
actually play
Jones
the outside,
is.
he is, but he's good for two
Oh
or
no,
three
he's still
catches.
good,
Whatever.
100%. But he's getting
I
up
would
there a little
almost,
bit.
yeah, well, yeah, and he's looked his age a little bit too, but um, I would almost put him on the outside and then put Devontae Smith in the slot, just because Smitty is so fast, and then call it a day, or just switch him out. Um, but I think this offense is very one dimensional right now, and I think it's really easy to stop him right now. And I don't even care what anybody says. It's easy to stop him. And if Lane Johnson doesn't play on Sunday, we're fucked. So that's where I'm at. Leading into that, uh, we do play the Dolphins, which is a tough one. Um, both teams in very similar situations. I think Dolphins have beat up on shit teams. Eagles have beat up on shit teams. Dolphins' one loss is against the Bills, where they got blown
Hmm.
out. Eagles' one loss is against the Jets,
It was a stupid
where
loss.
don't
That's
even
what
get me
that
started.
was.
Stupid stuff. But could this be a situation similar to the Phillies, where we needed a loss to get
Yeah, I
back?
think that's what everyone's kind of saying. At least from what I saw, everyone's like, "Well, the Eagles need one loss a season. Like, we can't be an undefeated team.
Yes.
One loss a season. Like, we're so confident. We're so good and everything." So yeah, I do think that one loss. I'm not going to say too much
Right.
about the loss, but yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know. The Dolphins game, I think, is either going to be, I mean, us getting blown out or a close game.
And there's gonna be
Yeah.
no in between, which is gonna be crazy. Now I think the Dolphins might blow us out. I'm not gonna lie to you, because if Darius Slay doesn't play, we're
Hmm.
done. Tyreek Hill is gonna take the top off, and we are going to
Yeah.
get destroyed. I don't care what anyone says. And Jalen Carter needs to play. Cindy Brown at safety is playing, thank God, so I don't have to watch cornerbacks play safety. Because that's hard to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Watching Josh Jobe in there really
Hurts your
hurts the brain
soul.
a little bit. It hurts the brain. We just signed Josiah Scott back, which is, uh, um. But listen, I think what it's gonna come down to is, can Jalen Hurts play like the old Jalen Hurts? You know, and if he does, he needs AJ Brown needs to get the stick out of his ass where he thinks he's the number one target. Devontae Smith is a number one wide receiver on any other team. Get that in. He needs to get that in his head. Like Devontae Smith is not as good as AJ Brown, but he's getting there. The guy's a stud.
For sure.
And if they don't, like, I thought we were so successful last year because obviously we had the deep shots to AJ Brown,
The crazy
all
catches
that.
to AJ Brown
Ugh.
and to Smith.
I mean, especially and to Smith. But like when AJ Brown caught those 3 touchdowns against the Steelers and we blew them out of Lincoln Financial Field.
We need
to.
When's our next home game? Are we playing at Dolphins?
Well, we're playing in the Link, which is a big deal. Kelly Green jersey game.
Oh boy!
So I think it. So this is such a big game for us. Just in general.
It has to be a win.
And
But either we're going to get blown out or it's going to be a tough win. If it's a tough win, that's good. But we need a game where we just blow out whoever we're playing in order to kind of get back.
I agree.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts. I feel like Jalen Hurts works best when he has that like cocky confidence under his belt. You know what I mean? I think it's going to take a game for us not getting blown out to blow out the other team in order for him to be like, okay, like, you know what I mean? He's a very confidence-driven person, so I think that's essential for good season.
We've talked about this before, but he's a very quiet confidence type of guy. Like just he will never show it until he does, and I feel like he always plays with that confidence. And he's just not playing with confidence. I'm not even quite sure why. Again, maybe it's the coordinators. It can't be the line.
I think there's a bunch of things kind of going on right now that are like Nick Sirianni taking back control from the coordinator. Okay, like
there's a lot.
Now that whatever guys are out, the news with signing whoever, I think there's just so many moving parts. The whole AJ Brown thing. So,
yes,
I think there's a ton of little different factors that kind of come into it, and I feel like when there's nothing going on, like no drama or anything, that's when silent confidence is really good. But when things start to move and crumble a little bit, I think that's when he kind of takes a step back. So
I agree, and listen again. He's my quarterback for the future. I'm just a little concerned because he needs to show me that he is the quarterback of the future. Especially in this year, and I mean, again, I know it's a brand new offensive coordinator. I know there's a lot of moving parts, but like, dude, figure it out. Like, it's your job. Let's go. And I still do believe in him. I do. But I don't know. This Eagles-Dolphins game scares the shit out of me. Because you're completely correct. It's either going to be a blowout Dolphins or a really close game Eagles. So, and I'm not quite sure there's any in between, which is scary because I really don't see us blowing them out. At all. So, because we can't really. I don't know.
It'd be a good Tua Hurts though. Tua versus Hurts, college reunion type.
Well, the storylines in this game is gonna be awesome. I think the storylines are awesome. Kelly Green jerseys, Tua versus Jalen will always be connected no matter what, especially from college. What they put Tua in. They will always be connected, and the fact that they have very similar stat lines and very similar teams, almost like this, like both teams have played shit teams and won all of them, and then as soon as they play like a semi decent team, except for the Eagles, almost, like they crumble. So they're very similar teams that need to prove very similar things, and I think it's like the storylines are awesome. Like this, and it's on Sunday Night Football, prime time. Like I think it's going to be such a good game. I do think the Dolphins are going to win, sadly.
But maybe the energy from the Eagle or from the Phillies will go over the Eagles game.
I hope so. I hope so. Listen, I hope so. Because it's Eagles Sunday, Phillies. If they continue to play the series, will be in Philadelphia Monday. So, I mean, hopefully. I just really hope you pull it out. That's where I'm at.
That looks like. Yeah, that looks like everything for today, actually, too. So I think we're good on time, but
I think we are. I think I might talk Sixers, just because of the James Harden thing, and it's a big deal. Don't feel pressure because I know you have shit to do. You gotta get your haircut. Head out.
Thank you so much for recording this with me. Thank you everyone for listening for today's episode. Now, good luck here in Evan Talk. Peace.
CJ. Peace. All right. So that was awesome. I was happy to see Jake again. I haven't seen him in a minute, especially on the podcast. Now I'm going to talk some Sixers. I haven't done this all year just because the Sixers. Well, I'm not gonna lie, they're like my baby. Them and the Phillies are my two like huge like they're like my 1-2. Um, and it hurts because the Sixers are a crumbling franchise right now, which is really hard for a Sixers fan to watch. Um, and I wanted to talk about it now because of Jalen Hurts. Oh, not Jalen Hurts, Jesus, James Harden. Um, yeah, James Harden. He showed up for that one day of practice, and now he has not shown up for personal reasons. Like, I want to give the benefit of the doubt to him because maybe it is a personal reason, maybe something happened in his family. Um, but I'm not sure, dude. Like, it's this team is rough. However, I do think that I know this is kind of a weird thing to say, but I think uh, Joel Embiid watching the Phillies and watching how this team is growing. Like, obviously he's a big Phillies guy. Like, media day rolls in with a Red October hat. Was seen at a Phillies game in the stands, not even in a box, in the stands. Um, I think he's almost taken notes in his head about how a team can win and how team connectivity really helps, and how the fluidity of the team really is the number one like most priority in like a team success, which is good. Now I will say James Harden is not doing the same because he's not on the team. Now I was saying this earlier to my family and everybody else. I think the Sixers are a little underrated. As soon as we trade Harden, or if Harden plays, I think we're going to be good. And I know that's a very hot take because people don't think we're going to be good at all. Um, but if you think about it, right, every team has that veteran leadership, and that we never had. PJ Tucker started to do it in that Celtics series, but I thought it was a little too late. Um, Having Patrick Beverly, I think is going to be really underrated for this team. I think he pushes everybody to the max in practice. He's very Philadelphia, and I've always thought that ever since he was in Houston. Then he bounced around the league a bunch. He's very Philadelphia. He's really angry, but like he plays with the anger in like a good way. Um, I think he's a very underrated pickup for us. He plays great defense. The intensity is always there when he's on the court. Him and PJ Tucker on a team is going to be really funny. Just because they can't really score that well. But the intensity is fantastic, and I think in practice that is exactly what you need. I also don't hate the ad of Danny Green. I think it's a little weird, and obviously he's after his prime. But I mean, if he just comes off the bench, puts up 6 points a game, 2 threes, whatever, I'm in. And I think D'Anthony Melton's going to take that step this year. He's only 26, 27. I think he had a very underratedly good year last year. His three ball increased dramatically. Very catch and shoot type of guy around the perimeter, and can also play really good defense. Um, like if Harden does decide to hold out for a while, he could be your shooting guard. And Maxey could be your point guard. And then you got Tucker, Tobias, Joel. That could be interesting. And I mean, listen, I know not many people are going to be in favor of Harden playing, but listen, if James Harden plays on this team, I think we can be good. And even if he's traded, like I know Daryl Morey really wants Terrence Mann. I think he'd be a good addition, but like I'll take anybody at this point. First round picks would be cool too because we don't have any of them. So because of the Harden trade too, like we need something. Um, yeah, I don't think this team's going to be as bad as people say. Funny enough, but listen, and I actually really do love the addition of Nick Nurse. It's a very different team. There's even been reports coming out that it's Doc Rivers ran this offense through Embiid and through Harden, like exclusively. That's why Tobias Harris didn't really succeed that much, and it was really a fourth option. In this Nick Nurse offense, everybody's the first option. It's all about moving the ball. It's all about positioning. It's all about everything. Um, and I almost like obviously I'm happy Joel got that MVP, and he obviously got the MVP because he was the number one asset on that team, and he had James Harden who averaged above 10 assists a game. Um, so I mean, obviously I'm happy that he got that, but it almost hurt the team because the team as a whole didn't produce as well. I think we can all agree when Joel was off the court, the efficiency just wasn't there from anybody. Um, except for a little bit of Harden, but I mean, Other than that game 1 of the Celtics series, and even game 2 a little bit, and game 1 and game 3, um, he looked lost without Joel. So I just really need us to either trade Harden or just be like, yo, you're staying for this year. He's got 1 year left. You're staying for this year. Either you commit or you're done. Like, obviously he doesn't want to play, but it's your job. Sorry. And I know that listen, with the whole thing on Harden coming out about Daryl Morey being a liar, Harden got a lot for that, but I definitely do think it goes both ways. I'm going to come to Morey's defense, obviously, just because he's going to be here longer than Harden. But I mean, if I had to assume, Morey was like, yeah, we'll get this done. Sign your 1 year and we'll get it done within X amount of time. And it probably went over that X amount of time. And I don't blame Harden for being upset, but people talk about this on national TV too. You can't do that. You can't do it like that. Like, I'm sorry, you're not 28 anymore, James. This is the 3rd time you've done this. Why do you think Miami pulls out of the deal? They don't want to deal with you. They don't want to deal with your head. And listen, I've been a James Harden supporter. I know people have not been, and I've been a James Harden supporter just because I know who he can be in that MVP shell of himself. I've always supported him, and the fact that he came out and said that publicly in China, like, what? I know you're frustrated, but why like that? And it's almost like a big slap in the face to Joel Embiid, who has supported you from day one, like, no matter what, and you've supported him from day one, no matter what. And it's a slap to Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and your teammates. It's not just you saying that Daryl Morey's a liar. It's you saying that the Sixers organization is a liar, and that you obviously don't want to be there. And I don't know. It's just a bad look for him, and it's sad because James Harden this offseason, I know I said this on Instagram. I run that Instagram for Broad Street Boys. James Harden this offseason had the opportunity to completely rewrite his legacy almost. Up to this year, he has been known to leave teams as soon as shit's hit the fan. Houston, put on the fat bodysuit, gain some weight, forced his way out of Houston. Oh, you go to the Nets. Oh my gosh, you're with Kyrie and with Kevin Durant. Kyrie and Kevin Durant can't stay healthy. So then it's really just you and a bunch of scrubs, which is sad. So I get why he was upset out of that one, but then he forces his way out of Brooklyn into Philadelphia, where how could you go wrong in Philadelphia? You have a solid coach and then Doc Rivers, and you have and then obviously the MVP now, but going into it, an MVP candidate. How could it go wrong there? And then this offseason, he had the opportunity to sign for longer, or take that 1 year deal and get traded. And I honestly, when he signed it, I was like, okay, I hope this deal happens quickly, so it doesn't tarnish more than it has to. But I mean, as soon as you make that comment about Morey, that is the tipping point in your career. Like, that's how you're going to be remembered. And I'm sorry. Like, I want you to be remembered as this guy that put up 36, 10, and 10 in your MVP year and was a stud. Like, I want James Harden to be remembered like that, but he won't be. He will be now remembered as this player hopping or team hopping player that is just ring chasing and fails to ring chase every year. So, and is almost a little bit injury prone at this point. His knees aren't good. Sorry. You're not getting separation on your step back like you used to. And it's a really sad situation because I want him to succeed, but sorry. Like, you had the opportunity to rewrite your legacy and retire in Philadelphia, like in an interview you said you wanted to, and then you say, all right, well, I'm gonna get out of here and go to the Clippers, who can't stay healthy to begin with. You would be the another rotting star on the Clippers, and you know it too. You know that you'd be another rotting star on that team, and it's just like, I want to root for you bad, dude. I really do. I always have. I've always wanted to root for you, but sometimes it's hard, and I'm sorry, and I don't think the fans should do this, but you deserve it. If you show up for Game 1 in the Wells Fargo Center, you're gonna be booed big time, like almost to the Ben Simmons level, because you have put this city through another shitty situation, And listen, as a Sixers fan, as a dedicated Sixers fan, these past years, we have been through the ringer. Us Sixers fan, we've been through the Ben Simmons and the Joel Embiid. We've been through everything. And if he thinks that this organization and city is new to this, he's got another thing coming, and we know exactly how to respond to just through the shit at you. Sorry, like that's just how it is. And people run through just throw this city in the mud every single time, and I don't know. It's just a tough situation, and I hope the Sixers are good, and I think they will be. Like I'm actually excited a little bit for this year because I love veteran leadership, and this team has plenty of it this year. And and if Harden doesn't come back, and it's just Harden and Maxey, or sorry, Embiid and Maxey, we know what Embiid's gonna give you. I need to see an all-star Tyrese Maxey out of this year too, and I believe in him. But it's just a lot. So hey, I believe in this team still. Believe it or not, I'm trying my best and I'm trying to stay positive because I could go even more negative, but I'm trying not to. Um, listen, as we've been doing, the process is probably a failure, but listen, trust the process always. Um, I just, and I'm last thing I'll say negative. Let me just call for. Um, I'm sick and tired of people of national media saying that Joel Embiid wants out because he doesn't. Like you convinced me that he's want to go to the Knicks. I just saw something yesterday that there's like a it's like a scuttlebutt. That's how they described it on like NBA Central or something, like a national media thing. They're like, "Oh, a scuttlebutt is telling me that Joel Embiid wants to join the Knicks." What the hell is a scuttlebutt? I'm over. I'm over national media depicting the Sixers and Joel Embiid wanting out. Like obviously he's not that happy here, and I've said this with Jaden before. I'm giving him one more year of my 100% dedication and 100% like defending this guy, and I believe in him. I believe he can take us to the promised land, and I think Nick Nurse is a better game manager than Doc Rivers. I don't care what anybody says. Um, listen, I'm just over national media like making it look like Joel Embiid wants out because I don't think he does yet. I think this is his last year, and I agree like of like 100% dedication to this team and to the vision because he's now been through 3 coaches, and as a player, that's a lot. So, and if we suck this year and it's not his fault, like I don't blame him for leaving. I'm sorry, like I don't blame him at all. Um, almost it'd be good. It'd be better just to completely rebuild. And like, I really hope he does stay because Joel Embiid in my teenage years has been that guy. I mean, obviously Bryce Harper is here too, but like the whole trust the process thing and his first game against the OKC Thunder, I'll never forget that when I was on ESPN. And I'll never forget his his first shot and make within the first 2 minutes. Um, at the elbow, that the turnaround jump shot. I'm like, oof, that was a little Hakeem-esque, except when he shoots the ball. And so I'll never forget Joel Embiid. Him and Harper are the 2 guys that I'm like, they need a ring here. They have put so much effort into this city, into everything. And Joel Embiid I don't know what else Joel Embiid can do in this city. Because listen, I believe in the guy. I believe in his vision. I believe in everything that he wants to accomplish. And I love that. And I think he's starting to embrace the Philadelphia-ness in the fact that he did show up to Beanie Day in the Red October beanie. Very similar to like how Nick Sirianni will like show up in like those shirts and like supporting other people, not himself. I think that Joel Embiid kind of saw that almost and was like, "What if I did that?" And how Bryce Harper is like now the face of the city in my eyes. Well, I wonder if Joel Embiid kind of saw that. And I was like, what if I embrace this city? What if like what would happen? And the fact that he's such a big Red October guy, I think is awesome. And Joel Embiid, in my eyes, is one of the more gifted centers I've ever seen in my lifetime, and maybe ever. Like gifted wise, he has the feet like Hakeem Olajuwon. He has the shot like Karl Anthony Towns. I know that's weird saying that, but Karl Anthony Towns statistically is the best 3-point shooting center ever. He has the only thing that's not up to par is his mental capacity, and his body. Sadly enough, but he can do the turnaround jump shots like Jordan. He could do anything. If this gets stronger, if that mental capacity gets stronger, and if he shows up in the playoffs, listen, he could go down in the Bryce Harper category, and I don't care what anybody says. He still has aptitude. But yeah, at this point, I'm gonna wrap it up. Well, let's go Phillies tonight. I'm really hoping they pull it out. I hope the Eagles kind of figure it out against the Dolphins, even though it's a tough team to figure it out, and trust the process always. Thank you all so much for listening. Jake says thank you as well. I'm sorry he had to leave. He had a haircut at 11:45, and we had 20 minutes until that was going to be 11:45. So thank you guys all so much for listening. I'm going to get this out on Friday, so happy Friday. Stay tuned also on Instagram and TikTok. A big thank you on TikTok. I just had one of my first reels explode. One of my first TikToks explode, and I really appreciate it. We're at 100K views and thousands of likes. I really appreciate all of that. And even on the Instagram, I really appreciate the love. Obviously, the algorithm's going to show the Red October stuff a lot. So I've been trying to post strictly Phillies, and then as soon as they are out or win the World Series, I'll continue to post them a little bit, but I'm going to shift more to the Eagles and the Sixers. I'm going to try to do a Sixers lineup every day as soon as they start like regular season. I'm going to start drafting that. But thank you all so much for all the support recently. Like it's been awesome, and I really have been trying my best with this too. I'm trying to make this like a hobby and like a really good resume thing. So I really appreciate all the love. So thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next Friday. I'll probably be back in Harrisonburg. I'm currently in the Philadelphia area now. Yeah, I'll see you next week. And listen, go Phils. Big